morning, y'all. I don't know, that song came on the radio, and after these 2 weeks of birthday shenanigans, I realized I ain't did no book review in a minute. So I just come on here to do a book review. Even though it's my birthday, I did not stop reading books. I've been reading a lot of books, and one book came across my, I don't know if y'all, but have y'all ever had a social media bestie that just always rock with you? And this book is by one of my social media besties, okay? Me and her been rocking for a minute. We've been cutting up on, I ain't never met her, but we've been cutting up on social media for a minute. And I recently read one of her books yesterday. I done read a couple of her books, but this one I read about a week ago. And this song came on the radio, and I swear, this song put me in the mind of, I know I'm saying their names wrong. I'm sorry, Jaheim. The other name was from another book, Jaheim. I've been messing up his name the whole book. But Kenley and Jaheim are childhood best friends, right? And he pretty much is in love with her. He's been in love with her whole life. And she is blind to the fact that he's in love with her. Kenley is one of those people that are just pure and have to see. She only sees the good in everyone. Even if they showing her who they are. You know, like you can show her one glimpse of the good in you or some good in you, and she will go the rest of her life searching for that little ounce of good in a person, even when they wrong her. She is so kind-hearted that she lets people she let people mistreat her. She ended up in a relationship where the person saw her light and he wanted it and he dimmed it. Every chance he got, he dimmed it. He dimmed her significant. She pretty much fell in love with, even though she had a childhood best friend, she had a childhood boyfriend. This childhood boyfriend was pretty much jealous of the childhood best friend. He liked it, Kenley, and Kenley liked it, him, but he was jealous of Kenley's best friend. So instead of trying to love on her and gain her affection, he hurt her. He hurt her for no reason. What struck me as odd about these characters, especially Kenley, this guy showed her who he was from childhood all the way up to adulthood, and she ignored the signs because she was looking. She knew that he could be good, and she was looking for the good in him. And her best friend, I'm gonna think that's how they say his name in the book. He always was there for her. He was there for her to the point to where his social life and his life with his friends and girlfriends had came at a standstill. Let's just talk about Kenley. Kenley is that girl who, I don't know how to put it. Everybody got that one friend who just be so in love, just so in love with the guy who is not lovable. Like her boyfriend was not lovable. He dogged her. He did the unthinkable. You know, I can't even talk about, because usually I don't read DV books, but the name She+He equals We. And for some reason that name, it was the name of it just stood out. It's by D. Ashante. I be saying her name wrong. I know I do. But anyway, long story short, he dogged her. He dogged her the whole book, and she just kept saying she loved him. She loved him. What I don't understand, and I probably never understand it, how can one person love someone that shows them nothing but like negativity or abuse or hurt? I'm like, what are you in love with? Are you in love with that person, or are you in love with who you want or who you think you could be, what you think y'all love affair could be? She even bossed up on him. After say about 13 years of him abuse, mental, physical, and verbal abuse from him, she bossed up on him, and she found her voice, but she still didn't break away from him. You know what I'm saying? It's like I did not understand. And to this day, even in real life, I could never understand, and it's not for me to understand probably, but I could never understand when someone be so enamored and so in love with a person that wrongs them. And this was Kenley. Y'all remember, I don't know if y'all ever looked at any of my other videos, but I feel like when you fall in love, your soulmate is your bird. And her best friend was her bird. And like, he was always there to save the day, but she she would like, it would just go over her head until he got to the point where he said, hey, I can't do this no more. Like, it is hurting me to be here for you. You're gonna have to find your own way. So he backed away. He backed away. He loved her from a distance, and he went on with his life because he could not watch her self-destruct. And when I say self-destruct, because in the end, and this is a spoiler, when she bounce up, the guy, her abusive significant other is gonna say, everything that I did to you, you let me. You let me. You point the finger at me, and you let me do this to you. You let me. So, you know, you can forgive me. I'm gonna do right by you, blah, 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 because he didn't want her to leave him. And she, the best part out of this, she said, you know what? You're right. She accepted the responsibility of letting him abuse and walk all over her. And to me, that was the greatest part of that book. To her accepting that she allowed this person to abuse and manipulate and mistreat her. And she took her life into her own hands. And she bossed up. And that's, to me, that was the whole book, of her taking responsibility for her part in letting someone abuse her. This book, I'm be honest, I don't read any DV books because I'm a helpless romantic and I love happily ever afters. But this book right here took me through. It had me on an emotional roller coaster. And I cried and I cried and I cried because the mental, I just could not understand the mental capability, or I don't know, the mental that girl was going through while all these years this guy from childhood, like, because she had an example of love, like her guardians loved. She's and her godparents, she had two couples that just showed her what love is supposed to feel like and it's supposed to be like. So I just did not understand how she can get herself into a relationship with nothing but abuse. But in real life, there are women out here who had nothing but examples of how to be loved and being loved and have fathers in their life that love them and still end up in situations like that. This book was a very emotional read for me, and it's a lesson. It's like pretty much the name of that, the verse in that song said, a fool for love is a fool for pain. And for some reason, that book and that verse in that song, to me, it went together. If y'all looking for a very deep emotional read, take a minute to read this book. It touched me. It was a really, really powerful read. It was very triggering. And the name of the book is She+He We. So if y'all get a chance, read that book. I think it'll teach you a couple of life lessons. All right, y'all, happy Sunday. I just got out of church, so happy Sunday and happy reading.